your social media page, specifically Facebook for your business. I'm going to try to give some good tips on how to get more fans and get more awareness about your page. We quickly look at my Facebook page. What we're actually talking about today is we're trying to get people to come to this page and actually click this little button here that says like. And if they click it, it's obviously going to increase this number right here where you can see I have about 2,100. We call them fans or likes. So that's the point of today's webinar, is to really cover, one, what's the purpose of it, and two, how do we grow it? So I think for those of you that don't really understand the purpose of getting a fan, think of getting a fan as getting someone's email address and you having a newsletter. Kind of the same concept. Anyone who's ever done email marketing knows there's really two things you're doing. One, you're coming up with content, and two, you're emailing it out. Now, if you only have 2 email addresses, then obviously your newsletter is not going to be that valuable because it doesn't have any distribution. The same thing can be said about Facebook. Though Facebook does have what's called a viral aspect to it, which we'll talk about later, the point is you want to get as many people as possible coming to your page and kind of opting in to receive your content. And that's going to happen by them coming and clicking on that like button. So once you understand that, okay, if someone comes to my page and they click the like button, then they get my posts, then you start to understand, okay, I need to have a strategy for that to happen. Now, of course, in my opinion, any good entrepreneur, any business owner, they know they need to stay in front of their clients. Obviously very important for retention, very important for generating referrals, and that's really the whole point of having a Facebook page for your business, growing as big a distribution as you can, but more importantly, we do this because people are addicted to Facebook. That's the most common question I get from people. I don't like Facebook. I don't care about Facebook. What's the value in Facebook? The value in Facebook is 80% of the people in America, they're addicted to it, and they're on it pretty much on a daily basis. So as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we really need to, again, take advantage of that, utilize that, and utilize it as a way to get our brands in front of these people. It doesn't really matter what you sell, what you market, what your story is. If you're an expert, a consultant, in the end, it's always the same theory. It's a numbers game. How many people can I touch? And if I get in front of enough, it's going to equal some sort of sales percentage. So that being said, really there's a few levels of this. In my opinion, there's kind of a few basics. Basic thing number one is to go to your page, and make no mistake, guys, one thing I always try to really hit on is consistency. This is not something, especially with social media, it's not something you're going to do to get started and then you're done for life. It's kind of like a constant maintenance thing where you're constantly doing it. Maybe it's not every day, but maybe it's monthly, maybe it's quarterly. So my point is it never does end. And these things I'm telling you to do, you don't do them once. You do them all the time. So the first thing I would suggest doing is you want to go to your page and bear with me for a second here, guys. You want to go to your page and make sure you've invited all of your friends to become fans of the page. So people say, well, how do I do that? How does it work? Well, if you go to your personal page and then put in your business page address, you should see over on the left-hand corner here, well, you can always go into the upper right-hand corner and click on Build Audience. You should then see a tab that says Invite Friends. And what it'll let you do is it'll let you go through your friend list. And you can see there's some people here, Nick Johansson. It says there's a little invite button. You can kind of scroll down, and you'll see these new people that I've become friends with. And if I click the invite button, it'll send them a little internal Facebook message that says, hey, look, Ken French would like to invite you to become a fan of benefitstore.net, and they'll have the ability to like the page without going to it. So without rambling on, that's really the first thing you always do if you're just getting started. You create the page, you click on the Build Audience button, you invite all of your friends to become fans, and you'll probably get about 25 to 40% of those people becoming fans initially. But my point is it doesn't stop there. Now, one thing is you only can invite people once. So it's not like you can constantly invite them. But if you're doing a good job with social media, you're constantly connecting with people. Maybe 5 to 10 new people a month. So my point is each month you should be going through and just going through and inviting the new people you've connected with. To me, that's kind of having a game plan. It should not take more than 2 minutes, and it's a way to constantly be driving people to your site. And again, as I've talked about in past webinars, that kind of becomes the importance of the personal page on Facebook. It's a way to be connecting with people, growing that personal distribution that you can then funnel to the business page. I think that's vital to really, growing any type of distribution. And the beauty of it is you may create other pages, and now you have this immediate distribution you can market the page to. So that's the first basic thing. The second basic thing you should be doing is you should have what I call a pre-written message. People say, well, what does it mean pre-written? Well, what I mean is, and I'll go through an example in a minute, you should have on your computer a saved 2 to 3 sentence message that basically tells people, why it's valuable to go to your page, what they're going to get, and obviously how to become a fan. So it's kind of a 2 to 3 sentence kind of little message that's, and again, I'll show you an example, that you should have saved on your computer. People say, well, why should I have it saved? Well, as I always try to stress what I call time management. And you guys know social media can be incredibly time consuming. So if you don't have a little plan like this, a little strategy, next thing you know, anytime you want to market your page, you're spending 10 to 15 minutes writing up a marketing piece. To me, it makes sense that if you're going to be doing this on a monthly basis, have the pre-written message saved on your computer. And here's kind of an example of what I was talking about. And here's what I use. Snoozy Incorporated is excited to announce we are now using Facebook as a free value-added service for all of our friends and our clients. Each day, we're offering free social media tips, advice, and videos to help you grow your business. To receive this free value-added service, just go to facebook.com/benefitstore.net and then click the like button at the top middle of the screen. Please feel free to contact us with any questions. So what I was talking about on this last slide is, one, you should have this pre-written message. But two, you should be posting that on your personal page maybe once a month, once a quarter, just because, like I said, when you go to invite your friends, you can only invite them once. So if they kind of missed out on it, how do you get those people to become fans? The way you get them to become fans is to kind of have this little blurb that you can put on your personal page that's going to go out to all your friends, driving these people to become fans of the page. So that's one reason to have the pre-written message. Now, I'm going to assume you're going to use it in different ways than just putting it on Facebook. You might want to put it on LinkedIn. You might want to put it in an email. You may use it in many different ways. But I think my point is to have it pre-written, have it saved. It's going to save you time in the long run. So that's what you're going to want to do internally on Facebook. Invite the friends, market the page on your personal page, but you definitely want to be doing things externally as well. And that means off of Facebook. I've seen a lot of people getting success with just promoting it in your newsletter. Now, I'm not talking about just having the little Facebook icon on the side. I'm talking about maybe putting the pre-written message in, maybe expanding it, making it like 2 or 3 paragraphs, and just kind of saying, hey, look, this is something new our business is doing this year. We are using Facebook as a value-added service. Here's what it offers you, and here's how you get what we offer you. And I think that becomes very important. The thing I always stress to people is, and I don't mean to be blunt, but I say, look, wake up. Facebook is in year 13, okay? You guys all thought it was going to die in 2 years. Well, it's year 13. All that means is there's a lot of people out there who are entrepreneurs that got really good at it over the last 13 years from a strategy standpoint. So what I try to explain is if you want to be successful, you got to bring your A game. You got to have a strategy. You got to do the little things right. You can't just be going to people saying, hey, I got a Facebook page, go like it. That doesn't work. That hasn't worked in 7, 8 years. So there's little things like inviting the friends, like sending out the pre-written message, but also these external tools are things you got to do to grow the page if you want to get the numbers that obviously you want to get. So that's, again, I've seen a lot of success with that. You want to definitely have it on your website. You want to make sure if you have a large company that you're training your staff, your sales team to talk about it. And then the thing I've seen a lot of success with recently is, believe it or not, got a lot of clients who are older. They're selling Medicare, long-term care. They're focusing on the senior market. I've seen them do a great job at kind of promoting the social media presence on the mailers that they're sending out. And basically what they're doing is they're doing seminars to talk about these products, and they're actually having, as you guys know, you can have an events tab on your social media presence where, if you're doing 6 seminars in the next quarter, you can list all those seminars right on the social media presence. Obviously, it's good because they go viral, but I've seen a lot of people that are sending out the postcards, and they're, mailers have become, they're not what they once were. So it's kind of something out of the box, something different, rather than saying, like, call us for more information. They're saying, hey, go to facebook.com/Medicare specialists and take a look at our Facebook page. We got a list of upcoming seminars you can register for. I've seen a lot of results with that. And more importantly, I've seen them get a lot of fans because of that. Even though these people don't go to their seminars because maybe they're busy or they're not aging in, they're at least going and liking the page, and those people are getting that distribution for later on. Some quick things that have worked that now don't work. As you guys remember back in 2009, 2010, you'd see a lot of people doing contests, giving away iPads, giving away gas cards. That stuff doesn't work anymore. Actually, it's illegal on Facebook now. So I wouldn't go down that road. Giveaways, contests, not really working, not really technically legal. Like I said before, you can't just tell people, hey, I'm using Facebook, go like my page. That doesn't work anymore because everyone has a Facebook page. You got to give people the reason. What's the value? What are they getting? If you can get that message across and you can come up with some value, you're going to grow your page. So I think that's really important to understand. As I mentioned last week, I think if you ever get stuck with social media, you got to think of the 3 C's: common sense, creativity, consistency. And I think the key with getting more fans is definitely all 3 of these. You got to have common sense on how to tell people about the page. Remember, most people, they probably do want to become fans of the page. They just have no idea how to do it or how it works. So you gotta have some common sense and give them some instructions. You got to be creative with obviously what the page offers, and most importantly, you got to be consistent. You got to be posting every day, and you got to be telling these people on a consistent basis about the page so that it grows. What I did to be successful, obviously I kept at it. I did struggle early on. I remember back when this page had about 10 fans, and I didn't know what I was doing, but obviously I kept at it. I made sure that I was always posting because that's the key. That's the value that you're offering. And like I said, it's a never-ending cycle. You don't ever want to get to the point where you're sitting there for like 3 hours one day because you haven't done it in 6 months. You want, as I tell people, and I don't mean to ramble, I always kind of say that social media is so much like going to the gym. If you can just have a system where you're going and doing your, you do your 20 to 30-minute workout 5 days a week, man, you're feeling good and healthy. I'm not telling you got to do 20 to 30 minutes of social media a day, but it's the same type of consistent mentality. Little bit each day, you're going to be in better shape for the long run. Obviously, the bigger your page gets, the more distribution you're going to get, the more viral it's going to be, and the better you're going to do. So hopefully that was helpful, guys. I appreciate your time today. Next week, we're going to talk a little bit more about website tips, how to get your website out there and better SEO'd. Appreciate your time. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.